Hey everybody, it's Derek and welcome back to CRM Tip of the Day's Video Tips, your source for tips and step-by-step instruction on the latest version of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So today we're going to look at a feature that I actually just real recently got introduced to called Company News Timeline. The point behind this is, you're sitting on your mobile device, you're looking at an account or you're looking at a contact, and would make sense that, you're in a hotel or whatever it is, and now you want to kind of maybe look and see kind of what's going on. You don't necessarily need everything that you would get with like the insights or the inside view type situation where it's really going to go out and kind of cyber stalk type situation. You really just need to get kind of up to date on what's going on from a news perspective. And so what this does is it actually installs a control that's available only on the mobile application, so only on MOCA, that actually lists off some different news topics from some different sources. And then within those news topics, you can actually click on them and kind of drill into it. So it's actually a solution that you can add directly into your instance. It takes just a few minutes to go up. There isn't a lot of configuration around it, but we'll at least kind of walk through that process so you can see what it looks like. So if you're in your Office 365 Admin Center and you go to your CRM installation, you'll actually see the instance that you want to work with. And so one of the options that you'll have in here is the ability to go ahead and click on solutions. And so inside the solutions, you'll see all the different solutions that you have. And it's just one of your standard preferred solutions. It's the company news timeline. So once you have your company news timeline, you'll go ahead and you'll just hit install. It'll install the solution. Take anywhere about 5 to 10 minutes probably just to install it. And then you're kind of ready to go from there. So once it's installed, it has just a relatively few amount of components inside of it. So let's just actually look at what those components look like. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this up. So realistically, it adds just a couple of entities. So it adds a new entity called News, and it adds a new entity called Wrong Company. It also has gone in and made some customizations to the account entity, the contact entity, the lead entity, and the opportunity entity, because those are the items that you can actually display that news information in regards to it. And then it also has a couple of web resources in there primarily used for configuring the hosted control, because that's really all it is really just a hosted control inside the app. So for example, if I were to go back into settings and customizations and customize the system, and I go into the account entity, I can actually open this up. And I'll see on the form that there's an item in here called news. And so this is that new section basically. So if I open this up, this is actually just a subgrid inside the application that is pointing to the news entity with a relationship to the account entity. And if I go into the controls, I can see that there's a hosted control in here called timeline control. And this is what's actually configured the item in the application. So this has got a tie basically back to that web resource, and that web resource has all of the information in there, so it knows how to pull in the icons and the entities and the information that's going to be displayed in there. What's actually kind of cool about this is if I were to go into another subgrid and open it up even just on the contact entity and look at it here real quick, I can see that I can add this timer control or timeline control into here. And so anytime you have anything that would be date related, this would give you the capabilities to go in and actually open it up in either add or read it mode, list everything in a specific timeline. So if you're trying to get, from a deal perspective and you're trying to look at all the activities that have taken place, this is a really cool customization that you could display on the mobile application that would display all these different events in a timeline format. And then obviously, as you've seen with this concept, you could take that one step further and you could actually go in and customize that to fit your specific needs and add a web resource and now really package it to go out into another area, because with the ability to go ahead and do web resources and items on the MOCA application. Now if I look at this inside the MOCA application, I can see what that new timeline control looks like. So the customization options, inside that area with that hosted control, there's not a whole lot there, but you can see how it's designed. I could now come into here and I can see that they've got a drop down for new offerings. So different things that are associated with new offerings, maybe some options that are associated with different partnerships, but I can filter this information down. I can expand it to see more options or more articles that I want to work with. Now I'm actually running this, the MOCA client on a desktop, but if I were actually on a tablet or if I was on a mobile client or a phone, now when I select the item I want to work with, it's going to open up my browser and allow me to see that information direct in browser. So it's really kind of a cool utility if you're out and about and you need to access information. But one of the key reasons I wanted to show it to you is to get you thinking about how this timeline control and this timeline concept might actually be able to be applied to other scenarios and other items that you want to do moving forward. So that's going to do it for what has probably got to be the shortest tip of the day video I've ever done. So with that being said, hope you found it informative, at least from the concept of being able to use some of those new timeline controls maybe with some of your other entities and other options that you're working with. So again, for all of us here at CRM Tip of the Day, this has been Derek saying thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and have a good one.